Can you have too much self-confidence? I don't think so. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to boost your self-esteem. How is it we can do some amazing and sometimes unexplainable things, like heal our own bodies by the power of our thoughts? Mother's intuition, the law of attraction. Can we really tap into our subconscious mind? Can we really create our own realities? It begs the question, are we novice gods? Welcome to Are We Novice Gods? Now, if this is your first time on our show, what we're doing is we're looking at the evidences that show we have more capacity within us, more abilities that generally goes untapped. Whether it's intuition, whether it's manifesting, whether it's conscious creation, whether it's tapping into our belief system, into our subconscious mind. Whatever it is, we have the ability to create more things. Well, today we're going to talk about creating much more self-esteem, much more confidence, really, in our lives. A more solid self-esteem, if that makes sense to you. Okay, so I'm going to share with you 5 ways to boost your self-esteem. Okay, now the first way is very simple. And all of these are things that you can do right now. There is nothing that is outside of you that you need to have, to do, to be, to earn. You have everything within you right now. You just simply need to unlock some of that DNA. Okay, so the very first thing you need, the very first tip, I guess, is to keep promises. Now these are promises, the way that you start is you keep the promises that you made to yourself. And then eventually you grow and you make sure that you keep those promises that you make to other people. Okay, so let me tell you a story on how this all came about. So years ago I was interviewing a very, very successful CEO of a media company. And he had achieved amazing success, not just financially, but his health was amazing. He was like 60 years old and man, he was buff. He was really built. His family, his relationships were just of the best sort. I mean, he was just happily married. I can't remember how many kids he had, but they were a very tight-knit family. He was enjoying life, loving every aspect of it. But life was not always like that for him. He was frustrated as a kid. He never seemed to get the validation that he wanted from his father, and it destroyed him. He was angry and frustrated for many years. He became overweight and he didn't make the tennis team at the school. And this was kind of weird because he was a really good tennis player, or at least he had been. Well, he decided, okay, I'm going to change a few things in my life and I'm going to start exercising each day. And he made that promise to himself. I can't remember what it was, like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes a day that he was going to do, but he kept that promise to himself. And after a week, he realized that he felt better, not just because he had been doing physical fitness, but because he had been keeping those promises to himself. He said that was the secret to his whole turnaround. He makes and keeps promises to himself, and he knows he is always someone that he can count on. And now other people see that they can count on him too, because he keeps his promises to them as well. So anyway, the first way to boost your self-esteem, again, this is within your power right now, is to keep your promises. Now the next step is to change your identity. Okay, now let me explain that before you go, what? Okay, it doesn't mean to change your identity to be someone else. It means to change your identity to be who you are truly. So often, like middle school is the worst for us. I think our lives get destroyed in middle school because we start looking around at other people and we want to fit in. We don't want to stand out. We don't want to be the odd person out. And so we change ourselves to blend in with everyone else. Well, our lives aren't about blending in. It isn't about being like someone else. It's about being who we were truly meant to be. So when I say change your identity, what I want you to do is change the identity that you've had for yourself. Maybe you say, I'm fat. Maybe you say, I'm a loser. Maybe you say, I'm not coordinated. Maybe a lot of these I am statements that have been very disempowering to you. I am stupid, I am a failure, I am lonely, I am, Sorry, my mind is going blank and all of the different negative things that we can say about ourselves with this identity. I am divorced, or we see ourselves with financial ruin, or I'm somebody who had bankruptcy, or however you have labeled yourself, however you identify yourself. It's time to change that. It's time to cast that off. That's the past. You're going to be a new you. You're going to be the true you. And so getting rid of those identities that no longer serve you is really important to that. And the key is to get rid of the ones that don't serve you. To identify with the positive ones. Identify with what will help you grow and become more of your true self. So that's step number 2, change your identity. Now step number 3 is give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be your true best full self. Now years ago, in fact it was 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago next month, I went to this meeting in Las Vegas with these amazing speakers and these just amazing personal management people and personal development people. And I remember talking to this one speaker. We were at lunch together, and we had a bunch of people around the table, and different people were asking him questions. How do you do this? What will let you do this? And anyway, they wanted to be like him. They wanted to have what he had. They wanted to be uninhibited the way that he was. And he says, look, I give you permission. You have permission to be this. And basically he just said the universe gives you permission. He didn't have the power to grant universal permission to people, but yet we do. We have the power to just give ourselves permission to be confident, to be trustworthy, to be kind, to be creative. All of these things that we tell ourselves we can't do, we simply just need to give ourselves permission and move forward in the direction of those goals. Does that make sense to you? So step number 3, give yourself permission. Step number 4 is create affirmations for yourself. Now, I don't like to call them affirmations. I like to call them my favorite truths. And I have a big list of these, and I read them every day. And they are things that say, like, I am confident, I am creative. Anyway, I'm not going to go into my stuff because I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about you. Think of what you truly want to be like. And think about how you can state those in ways where you already have it. I am confident, or I am a successful entrepreneur, or I am a nurse, I'm graduating as a nurse in college. Whatever your goal is, whatever you're looking to become, state those affirmations right now. Now think about, I interviewed a guy who was a 3-time Olympian, and he was a silver medalist along with that. He had done the bobsled. Now, can you imagine what life was like him when he was training? He knew exactly what he was doing, and every day he worked for it. And then he envisioned himself on the podium, standing there, having them put the medal around him, as he bows forward, and they bestow this medal around him, this Olympic medal, and he could visualize that every day. It was very clear to him what he wanted to achieve. Well, are you doing that in your life? Are you creating affirmations? Are you creating your favorite truths? Are you creating visions and things that you would like to actually create or manifest or grow in your life? You have the opportunity to do that. So anyway, just want to point that out to you. So if you want to boost your self-esteem, really envision who you're going to be in the future, who you are growing into, and be very clear on that and write them down and then consistently repeat those so that you can change the story that has been this negative self-talk where you've been beating yourself up. Now the last thing, step 5, is to focus on evidences. Now right now you're probably focusing a lot on the evidences that show that I am not brave, that I'm not confident, that I am not successful, that I don't have great relationships. Whatever it is that you're focusing on, you see those evidences and you see those and you go, well, that's the truth. Okay, well, what we're doing is we're creating a new reality. We are creating a new truth for you. And so you need to let go of those and focus on the evidences that show that what you are looking to create, that you're looking to manifest is actually true. So maybe you say that I am brave, or I am confident. Let's say I am confident. You're looking to build self-esteem, you're looking to build self-confidence. So if you can start out and say, I am confident, and then in your mind you probably have this voice going, no, you're not. Okay, don't listen to that voice. I want you to look and I want you to find evidences where you have shown confidence. Maybe your confidence is that you've watched this video all the way through. Maybe that shows that you are somebody who believes in yourself enough to try. Focus on that. Maybe your confidence is that, you stood up for somebody who needed help. Maybe that's where you're going to say, I was confident there. Maybe you don't have the evidences that you were like a public speaker or that you like started a business or did something really, like that. But if you start with these other little things that you have confidence in and you grow those and grow those and grow those, then you can branch that out into these other areas where you can say, you know what, I am confident. I stand tall now. I have positive self-esteem. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know where I'm going. I have an identity that I have chosen. When you start to do these things, you take the power to yourself. You become who you are meant to be, which is a creator. And the best thing to create right now is to create the life you truly want. Are you looking to make the world a better place? Visit me at scottwilhite.com and sign up to become an Impact Insider. I'll keep you updated on the topics and ideas that may help you become your best, true, full self.